We have all heard the old saying, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. For decades, we have been conditioned to believe that starting our morning with a hearty meal is the key to energy, metabolism, and good health.
But for millions of seniors living with high blood pressure or a history of cardiovascular issues,
it can be the most dangerous meal of the day.
Why? Because of a biological phenomenon known as the morning surge.
When you wake up, your body naturally releases a cocktail of hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, to get you out of bed.
These hormones naturally constrict your blood vessels and raise your blood pressure.
This means that between the hours of 6 a.m. and noon, your cardiovascular system is already under its highest level of stress. It is during this window that you are statistically most likely to suffer a stroke or a heart attack. Now, imagine taking that already stressed system and pouring fuel on the fire.
That is exactly what happens when you consume certain common breakfast foods.
Foods that are loaded with hidden sodium, inflammatory sugars, and chemical preservatives.
The terrifying truth is that many of these foods are marketed to you as healthy, comforting, or traditional.
You might be eating them right now, thinking you are nourishing your body.
When in reality, you are creating the perfect storm for a vascular emergency.
In this video, we are going to expose the 5 breakfast foods that are secretly spiking your blood pressure.
We will explain the biological mechanisms behind why are so dangerous, from the way they trick your knees.
And stay with me until the end. We will discuss the specific antidote breakfast. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button.
The physiology of the morning spike. To truly understand why these foods are dangerous, we must first look at what is happening inside your arteries when you, an African American man, sit down at the kitchen table.
Your blood vessels are lined with a delicate layer of cells called the endothelium.
These cells produce a gas called nitric oxide, which relaxes the vessels and keeps blood flowing smoothly.
In the morning, due to the natural surge of stress hormones, your nitric oxide production is lower.
Your vessels are tighter. Your blood is slightly thicker from being dehydrated during sleep.
When you eat foods that are high in salt, sugar, or bad fats, you are launching a chemical assault on this fragile endothelium.
You are stripping away the body's ability to relax those vessels right when it needs it the most.
You are turning a gentle stream into a raging river, pressing hard against the walls of your arteries.
Let's look at the first, and perhaps the most common, offender.
1. Processed breakfast meats. Bacon, sausage, ham, scrapple.
The smell of frying bacon is often associated with comfort, family, and weekend mornings.
But for a senior with hypertension, processed meats are arguably the single worst thing you can put in your body.
There are 2 distinct weapons in processed meat that attack your cardiovascular system.
The first weapon, the sodium sponge. We all know salt is bad, but processed meats are sodium bombs.
When you consume this much salt in one sitting, it enters your bloodstream rapidly. Sodium acts like a sponge.
It pulls water from your tissues into your blood vessels to dilute the salt. This drastically increases your blood volume.
Imagine a garden hose that is already stiff and narrow. Now, Imagine turning the faucet on full blast.
The extra fluid volume forces your heart to pump harder and raises the pressure against your arterial walls.
The second weapon, sodium nitrate. This is the preservative used to cure meats, to keep them pink and prevent them from spoiling.
When you ingest nitrates, especially when they are cooked at high temperatures, like frying bacon,
They can convert into compounds called nitrosamines.
These compounds are known to generate oxidative stress. They damage the endothelial lining of your blood vessels, reducing their elasticity. Essentially, you are filling your blood vessels with extra fluid while simultaneously making the vessels stiffer. It is a recipe for disaster.
If you love meat in the morning, swap the cured bacon for a slice of fresh, unprocessed turkey or chicken breast, or even a small steak.
You get the protein without the chemical preservation.
Two, instant flavored oatmeal. This one shocks many of my patients. But doctor, they say, I thought oatmeal was heart healthy.
Here is where marketing deceives you.
Steel-cut oats or old-fashioned rolled oats are indeed healthy. They are full of fiber, digest slowly, and can help lower cholesterol. But instant flavored oatmeal packets are a completely different food product. To make them instant, the oats are highly processed,
Pre-cooked, and pressed thin. This strips away much of their structural integrity, meaning they digest incredibly fast.
Then, manufacturers add massive amounts of sugar, maple flavoring, and dried fruits that are essentially candy.
When you eat a bowl of instant maple brown sugar oatmeal, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. The insulin blood pressure connection. When your blood sugar spikes, your pancreas releases a flood of insulin to manage it.
Insulin is a hormone that does many things. One of its lesser-known functions is that it tells your kidneys to retain sodium.
That's right. High insulin levels prevent your body from flushing out salt.
So even if you are watching your salt intake, eating a high-sugar breakfast causes your body to hoard whatever salt is already in your system. Furthermore, high insulin stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight system.
So, that heart-healthy bowl of instant oatmeal is actually triggering a stress response in your body.
The fix: switch to steel-cut or rolled oats.
Sweeten them yourself with a handful of fresh blueberries, which help lower BP, and a sprinkle of cinnamon.
3. The continental pastry: biscuits, danishes, and muffins. We often see these at church breakfasts, hotels, or family gatherings.
The glossy Danish, the fluffy biscuit, the oversized muffin. They look harmless. They feel light.
The danger here lies in a specific type of fat: trans fats, criblures.
They still lurk in many commercial baked goods to keep them shelf-stable and flaky.
The stiffening effect. Your cell membranes are made of fat. When you eat healthy fats, your membranes remain flexible. When you eat trans fats, they make the cell membranes rigid and stiff.
On a larger scale, this contributes to arterial stiffness.
Remember, your arteries need to be elastic. If your arteries are stiff, they cannot expand. The blood hits a solid wall.
Furthermore, these pastries are often made with baking soda and baking powder. What is the main ingredient? Sodium bicarbonate.
A single large biscuit or muffin can have as much sodium as a bag of chips, simply from the leavening agents used to make it rise. You are getting a triple threat: sugar, bad fats, and sodium.
It is a heavy price to pay for a few bites of dough.
Or fruit juice. I'll just have a glass of orange juice for the vitamin C.
This is a habit ingrained in us since childhood. But for an aging body, fruit juice is metabolically dangerous.
When you take a fruit and you squeeze it, you are extracting the sugar and the water. You are throwing away the fiber.
Fiber is nature's antidote to sugar. It slows down absorption.
Without the fiber, drinking a glass of juice is biologically very similar to drinking a glass of soda.
But there is a specific mechanism related to fructose that drives blood pressure up.
The uric acid connection. When your liver processes fructose, the sugar in fruit, one of the byproducts is uric acid.
You might know uric acid as the cause of gout, but it does something else sinister.
Uric acid inhibits the production of nitric oxide. Remember nitric oxide? That is the gas that relaxes your blood vessels.
So, when you drink high fructose beverages like orange juice, apple juice, or grape juice, you are increasing uric acid levels in your blood. This uric acid shuts down your nitric oxide production. Your blood vessels lose their ability to relax. They tighten up.
Studies have shown that high fructose intake is independently associated with hypertension, even in people who are not overweight.
The fix: eat the fruit, don't drink it. When you eat a whole orange, the fiber limits the fructose absorption.
You would never eat 4 oranges in 60 seconds, but you can easily drink the juice of 4 oranges in that time.
Hydrate with water, tea, or black coffee. Leave the juice on the shelf.
5. Pancakes and waffles with syrup. This is the weekend trap. You decide to treat yourself.
A stack of pancakes, a pat of margarine, and a generous pour of syrup. Unless you are buying expensive 100% pure maple syrup, the bottle is likely high fructose corn syrup with caramel color. But this meal combines that danger with refined flour moonshine.
This combination creates a massive spike in blood glucose, followed by a massive crash.
During the crash phase, your body releases adrenaline to try and mobilize more sugar.
Adrenaline, as we know, clamps down on blood vessels and races the heart.
So a few hours after that pancake breakfast, you might feel shaky, irritable, and your blood pressure might be elevated.
Additionally, this meal is almost entirely devoid of protein. Protein is essential for stabilizing blood sugar.
If you must have pancakes, make them with almond flour, use real berries, and always eat them with a side of eggs.
What should you eat instead? We have taken a lot of foods off the table. The good news is that the antidote breakfast is delicious.
We want a breakfast that focuses on 3 things: potassium, protein, and healthy fats.
1. Eggs. They are high in protein, which stabilizes your blood sugar and prevents that insulin spike. And they also contain choline, which supports brain health. Contrary to old myths, eggs do not negatively impact cholesterol.
2. Berries. Blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries are loaded with anthocyanins.
These antioxidants specifically target the endothelial lining, helping them produce more nitric oxide. They are nature's blood pressure medicine.
3. Avocado classo. The potassium king. Potassium is the mineral that counteracts sodium.
It helps your kidneys flush salt out of your body and relaxes your blood vessel walls.
Half an avocado on a piece of whole grain toast provides a massive dose of potassium and healthy fats. 4. Plain yogurt or cottage cheese. These provide the minerals your muscles need to relax.
Just avoid the fruit on the bottom varieties, which are hidden sugar bombs. Add your own fresh fruit. 5. Walnuts or flax seeds. A sprinkle of walnuts adds omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation. The perfect plate. This meal stabilizes your insulin, provides the building blocks for nitric oxide, and keeps your sodium low.
It turns the morning surge from a danger zone into a period of nourishment.
It is easy to feel restricted, but I want you to reframe this.
This isn't about restriction, it is about protection.
Your arteries are the lifelines of your body. They feed your brain, your heart, your eyes, and your legs.
When you sit down to breakfast, you have a choice. You can choose foods that harden those lifelines, or foods that soften and heal them. You have worked hard for your life. You want to see your grandchildren grow, you want to travel, you want to live independently.
Don't let a biscuit or a glass of juice put that at risk. Take control of your morning plate.
Because when you control your blood pressure, you control your destiny.
Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these foods is your Achilles heel? Is it the morning toast? The bacon?
Be honest in the comments below. Identifying the habit is the first step to changing it.
And if you have a healthy breakfast recipe that you love, share it. You might help someone else save their life.
If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment with one. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself.